Amanda Grace has a rare condition that puts her under a constant feeling of pleasure and arousal, forcing her to orgasm up to 50 times a day. Franklin Tini was a sideshow performer who had 3 legs, 16 fingers, and 2 genitals. Carlos Rodriguez is a man who lived with half a brain. This is the world's dirtiest man who haven't showered for 65 years. Oksana Malaya was raised by dogs, and so she spent her life acting like one. This woman gave birth to a goat, and not even the local doctors can explain how. Chinese man Li Hua lived folded for 28 years until one doctor saved him. Anne Hodges is the only person in history directly hit by a meteorite. This 21-year-old British guy never brushed his teeth. Ziona Chana was said to have the world's largest family. He married 39 wives and had 94 children. Joe Metheny was a serial killer who turned his victims into burgers and then sold these burgers to unsuspecting customers. Anthony Loffredo cut off his own body parts to look like an alien. Grady Stiles, also known as the Lobster Boy, was an infamous freak show performer who used his claw hands to commit abuse and murder. This real-life Tarzan lived in a jungle for 4 decades and never knew women existed. This yoga master claims he had no food and water for the past 70 years. William James Sidis is the smartest man to ever exist with an IQ of up to 300. Adam Rayner was a man who was born as a dwarf and who died as a giant. This man spent 22 years breaking a mountain in half, all for his dead wife. This is the world's most fertile woman who has 44 children at the age of 36. David Bennett was the first man in history to have a pig's heart beating inside of him. A Brazilian teenager gave birth to 2 twins who came from 2 different fathers. Bill Morgan, also known as the world's luckiest man, was declared dead, got interviewed about his win, and won another $190,000 during that interview. This guy in India is addicted to eating bricks and mud. Kathy Sullivan has made history in both space and sea. First US woman to complete a spacewalk and reach the lowest point in the ocean. This Brazilian woman married herself and then divorced herself 3 months later. This boy from Peru might just be the youngest CEO in the world. He started his own bank at the age of 7. Issei Sagawa is a Japanese murderer who is proud of being a cannibal and even became a celebrity because of it. Johnny Kim is labeled as the perfect Asian son for being all 3: doctor, Navy SEAL, and an astronaut. Asherta Furman holds the Guinness World Record for having the most Guinness World Records. Jonathan Lee Richards holds the world record for having filed the most lawsuits. When he found out he holds the record, he sued Guinness too.